Late word, 11 people now hurt on Ohio State's campus today before that suspect, a student, was shot and killed by an Ohio State police officer. And good evening, I'm Mike Dardis.
And I'm Cherie Palello. Now, just a short time ago, you saw it live right here on WLWT. Police and school officials releasing new details on the student who went on the attack this morning. Ohio's governor congratulated first responders on their swift action.
And Ohio State will be stronger having come through this, and we will have learned a lot. And I can promise you, from the president of our university to the people that run security here, they will even up their game beyond what is really just an unbelievable, amazing, and outstanding and heroic performance on the part of our first responders.
We have live team coverage from Columbus and here at home as parents of students watch the events unfold.
And we begin tonight with WLWT News 5's John London with the very latest. John?
Yeah, Cherie, we have more information now about the suspect who has been identified as Abdul Artan, an 18-year-old Ohio State University student. We believe a first semester student. They're still checking on that. A Somali refugee who left Somalia back in '07, moved to Pakistan for a while, and then came to the United States a couple of years ago. He was shot and killed earlier today on campus by 28-year-old Ohio State University officer Alan Haruso, who, according to law enforcement, came to the scene, ordered the suspect to drop his knife, and then used lethal force when the suspect did not, thereby, according to the university president, saving many lives. Columbus police tell us it was fortunate one of their officers was nearby when a car targeted a crowd of pedestrians at 19th and College and plowed into them. They say the driver jumped out and began cutting anyone within range with a butcher knife. It was right before 10 a.m., right after a fire alarm went off.
There was a alarm that sounded in a building that was right beside the location of the aggravated assault.
And then students went outside.
Students went outside, but the information that I have is some of them were already being told to go back into the building when the car came.
So do you think it was a setup then? That's what I'm trying to understand.
That will be part of what we're trying to find out. I mean, is there a coincidence? We don't know.
What they know is that the two men cuffed and led away from an adjacent parking garage were cleared by police, who say they were not involved in the attack.
Very pleased with the level of responses. We hope never to have this happen, but it's what we train for. So.
The head of Ohio State told us first responders are to be commended. It was a purposeful attack, originally thought to be an active shooter, but the shots heard were those of the officer eliminating the threat. Police say the suspect used his vehicle and a knife to attack, not a gun. With the area secured 90 minutes after the ordeal began, the intense focus now is on the dead suspect.
As the investigation goes forward, we'll find out more about who this was, what the possible motivations are, and other things we can learn to help make us even safer in the future.
And what we know from the news conference just a little while ago here at the Wexner Medical Center is that campus police were able to track the suspect's vehicle from the time he came onto campus all the way up to 19th and College. They have an elaborate surveillance system here, and they were able to determine from that he was the only one in the car. No one else was with him from the time he came on campus. No indication there is any other accomplice, but the investigation goes on. Reporting live at Ohio State, John London, WLWT News 5.
John, it's really incredible when you hear how quickly this officer responded and had this suspect shot and killed within a minute, it sounds like. How was this officer able to respond so quickly?
There was some good fortune with that, Cherie. He had just cleared a gas issue in the immediate area of 19th and College. That was related to the fire alarm that had just cleared as well. So he was in the area and was able to respond within under a minute to the threat. Had he not been there, there might have been an even worse situation for those who were attacked.
John London live. We often say sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and in this case sounds like that officer was both today. Thanks, John.
Both.
Well, as students were told to shelter in place, they took to social media, sharing their experiences. This one from Ohio State student Harrison Roth from inside a classroom. How about this? Students and staff barricaded the door with all of those chairs. Outside, of course, the scene was chaotic. Students running for cover. Two of them, McNick grads here from our area, who say they were caught right in the middle of it. WLWT News 5's Brian Hamrick live for us in Columbus with a story you'll see only on 5. Brian.
Yeah, Mike, this came just after the Thanksgiving break. There was a great mood on campus. OSU had just beat Michigan. Then out of the blue, how it turned as a McNick student and others found themselves face to face with the attacker. For many OSU students, the attack feels very close. But for Mark Flatt,
when he raised his arm to slash that first time, I was like, that's a knife. This is an attack.
it was very close. He was standing a few feet away when screams and a car drew his attention. Would have basically reached out and touched that car from where you were.
Yes, maybe a step or two, but I was right there.
Mark is an OSU junior who graduated from Nick Nicholas High School in Cincinnati. He says they were outside for a fire drill when a car leapt onto the sidewalk so fast no one could get out of the way.
I looked over my shoulder when I saw the scream. I just saw people getting plowed and they were falling over the car.
People were stunned, and then it got worse.
And he gets out of the car and just immediately starts slashing with a knife. So I hear somebody yell run, so we all just ran out of there. We ran as fast as we could.
The campus was put on lockdown. An alert went out as an active shooter, and in a classroom nearby, there was real concern.
The mood in class turned pretty serious pretty quick because we knew that we were pretty close to where everything was happening.
Matt Jenkins, also a McNick grad at OSU, says it was intense waiting, but maybe even worse for his parents 2 hours away.
My mom was very worried because she knew how close we were, just trying to calm her down and let her know that we were safe.
All after an attack that hit too close to home, no matter where that is. And all of those students we talked to are getting together, texting, and quickly trying to find out with other Cincinnati students who was okay. McNick students, Xavier students, they were all texting each other from right here on campus, just checking on each other. Reporting live, Brian Hamrick, WLWT News 5.
All right, Brian, thank you. Here at home, there were many sinking hearts and panicked parents, as you can imagine, when they saw that breaking news alert for the very first time, especially those with kids at Ohio State. WLWT News 5's Karen Johnson joining us live now with reaction from some of those parents tonight. Karen.
And you know, Cherie, some of those parents just left their kids after being in Columbus for the big game this weekend. Lori Coney, she lives on the west side of Cincinnati. She tells me her car was parked in that parking garage that we saw today, was surrounded by the SWAT team. So she says she had a real clear visual of where all of this was unfolding.
The alert read, run, hide, fight.
For Lori Coney, that alert spoke to the seriousness of the situation. Her thoughts instantly turned to her son, Nick, who is a sophomore at Ohio State.
Felt like an eternity, but it was probably only about 3 minutes or so. And I was able to reach Nick by phone. His voice, you could tell he was scared. He was saying that he was worried about some of his friends, but he was perfectly safe and sheltering in place in his dorm.
Meanwhile, Garth Turner was busy working in the master control room here at WLWT when the breaking news alert popped up. His son, Nate, is an OSU freshman.
I just asked him, do you know what's going on? He says, yeah, they've got us sheltered in place, and everything's good. We're up on the 4th floor of a building.
As Garth juggled WLWT's live coverage of the breaking news in Columbus, his son was never far from his mind.
As watching all the coverage, I realized that they're focusing on one building, and he said he was about 4 buildings away from that. So, you kind of feel a little secure in that they're not opening up their coverage, so he's should be safe.
Back on the west side of town, Lori's concern grew. Her son was safe, but there are many other Taylor High graduates at Ohio State.
As every parent's worst fear, your heart goes to the place where you're so happy that your child is safe, but you're so worried about everybody else's kids.
And Lori tells me she has since learned her son's friends from Taylor are all safe tonight. Reporting live, Karen Johnson, WLWT News 5.
All right, Karen, thanks so much. And by the way, as Karen was talking, we are just now learning that the police officer who shot and killed this suspect today, again, 28-year-old Alan Haruchko, we just found out that he's actually a 2007 Fairfield High School graduate. So this is a local guy who just joined the force in January of 2015 at Ohio State, saving so many lives there today, and he is a local guy. We continue to lead the way on air and online. So for the very latest updates, go to our website anytime, WLWT.com, or our WLWT mobile app will continue to update you on this developing story.
All right.